By the time the American Revolution began, many colonists had already picked which side they were on. Some were British loyalists, some sided with the patriots, and some just wanted to stay out of it. Much like these colonists, the indigenous peoples of North America also had to make this delicate decision. The Cherokee Nation at that time was a massive and powerful confederacy of towns primarily located in the southern Appalachian Mountains. Both the British and the colonists knew of the wide-reaching power of the Cherokee and wanted them as allies, or at the very least, not as their enemies. To win the Cherokee over, the British offered them firearms and ammunition, as well as trade goods and money. The settlers, on the other hand, simply didn't have as much to offer. When traditional diplomacy didn't work, some settlers resorted to intimidation tactics to bully the Cherokee into remaining neutral. Near the colony of New York was another great power, the Six Nations Confederacy, also known as the Haudenosaunee. Each of the Six Nations had their own leaders who had to choose for themselves whether to support the colonists or the British. Each of the Six Nations had different experiences with foreign intervention over the preceding 150 years. These experiences shaped tribal leaders' opinions regarding the British and the Americans, leading to fractures in the coalition. The Mohawk and Seneca nations sided with the British, and the Christianized Oneidas supported the separatist settlers. The Cayuga, Tuscarora, and Onondaga tribes remained largely neutral. In 1779, frustrated by indigenous resistance, George Washington issued a chilling instruction to a Continental Army officer to, quote, lay waste all the indigenous settlements around. The terror with which the severity of the chastisement they receive will inspire them. With the coalition split, the Oneidas and the Mohawks eventually fought on opposite sides, enacting Washington's vengeful request and inflicting irreparable damage to the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. Even after the American Revolution, fighting between settlers and indigenous peoples continued for over 100 years as American colonial settlers moved westward, using the same scorched earth tactics as before. Roxanne Dunbar Ortiz, in her book An Indigenous Peoples History of the United States, writes, quote, somehow, even genocide seems an inadequate description for what happened, yet rather than viewing it with horror, most Americans have conceived of it as their country's manifest destiny, end quote. Despite this, the resiliency of indigenous peoples has persisted to this day.
Funding for this video was made in part by a community engagement grant around the American Revolution.